everyone, I'm Kevin, otherwise known as Forum BX257, here to bring another 1980s G.I. Joe tour review. And today I'll be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Military Policeman and K-9 unit, the 1987 Law and Order. Now, Law and Order make their first comic book appearance in the old Marvel comic run in issue number 60. G.I. Joe number 60 is actually quite famous for being penciled by Todd McFarlane before he became famous. Now, as a toy, Law and Order was sort of meant to replace the 1984 Mutt and Junkyard. However, in the comic books, they actually worked together very prominently. Other characters that got somewhat replaced, like Roadblock replacing Rock and Roll, they were both in the comic book run for quite a while, but they weren't really working together, whereas Mutt and Junkyard and Law and Order really did work together and worked rather well as a team. He comes off as being very friendly and competent. And I mention competent because it's very interesting that he makes his first cartoon appearance in the 1987 G.I. Joe animated movie, where he is being recruited along with a few other would-be G.I. Joes into the team, and he's sort of being inspected by Beachhead. Beachhead actually comes along and isn't too impressed by what he sees in the other recruits until he gets to Law and Order, where he is impressed. Now, I'm not sure if there's something just sort of lost there where he has some background that impresses Beachhead. Unfortunately, all it does say on his file card was that he was a police officer for a few years before joining the Army.
I'll take a look at Order first. Order has some really nice painted detail on his face. The distinctive markings of a German Shepherd, which are really appreciated here because a lot of the animal companions which came with the G.I. Joes, they were very, very lacking in paint detail, whereas this really gives him a good look. Order also comes with his spiked leash. Just get this off here, and it's just sort of looped around. It's actually just a one-piece deal. And you loop the hand loop part through the buckle, which forms a leash. Law himself is, well, he has the bearing of a very military-looking policeman. He comes with an Uzi 9mm, and this is the exact same mold that the 1986 Lowlight, as well as the 1986 Toys R Us exclusive Claymore came with. They're absolutely no different. It still has the loops on the back sight as well as the bolt. And I've learned that a lot of collectors have actually strung like black thread through these to create a strap. A fairly easy little customization there. Law also comes with his MP Truncheon, which is basically a tonfa stick. It's fairly simple, but then that's what the tonfa stick would actually look like. And I've actually placed it like so, and that's actually the defensive position, where it's held, where the majority of the club is actually held along the arm to block blows. Of course, you can also hold it like this, and that's in the aggression, so you can hit people on the head. And finally, Law comes with his helmet, with the nice MP markings on it. And to compare the two dog handlers, Law actually came with a lot of the same types of accessories that Mutt originally came with, such as Mutt's has a nightstick instead of a truncheon, and had a MAC-10 instead of an Uzi, but it's basically the same stuff. One interesting thing is that the leash on Junkyard here is actually a one piece and not looped around. So the actual leash part actually comes to I would actually say a more ergonomic connection to the actual collar piece, whereas this is kind of looped around and it goes off to one side. The other thing, which is a little unfortunate, is that Order here, his head is actually molded looking off to the side, whereas we have a much more neutral pose on Junkyard. I understand that some people actually don't like the way Law looks with his bright blue vest and his red t-shirt. But I kind of like that because to me, Law is, well, a guard and he should be highly visible. However, in 1990, they reissued the figure, unfortunately without order, for the Sonic Fighters line, where normally a repaint is usually a bit more bright, but in this case, they went the other way and it was a lot more earth tony. He had a green vest and a tan t-shirt, making him far more subdued. Law has some really nice sculpted in details, which I forgot to mention earlier, such as that ring which is on his belt loop on the very front. That's actually for his truncheon. On the back, he has a key ring for his handcuffs, and of course, handcuffs as well, sculpted onto the back of his belt. Well, that's all the time I have right now. Thank you for watching my video, and stay tuned for next week to see another 1980s G.I. Joe toy review. See you then!